The 2022 Masters is underway in Augusta, Georgia. Legendary golfer Tiger Woods is back, and fans are ultra excited to see the man who many believe to be the greatest golfer who ever lived swing his clubs. So stay tuned and don't go away, because we're talking about the incredible scenes as thousands of spectators watch Tiger Woods' Masters return. First up, what's it like for fans to see Tiger Woods back in action? Well, it's absolutely incredible. As Tiger Woods practiced in front of thousands of supportive spectators at Augusta National ahead of the 86th Masters, he felt the love from his fans. Tiger's back in action after a horrific car crash 14 months ago that left him with severe leg injuries and nearly took his life. Injuries that at least initially were thought to be career-ending. The idea of the now 46-year-old Tiger making a potential comeback is one of the most exciting stories in golf right now. Many of Tiger's peers have remarked about how good he looks on the course, and many have commented about his tenacious work ethic. And when asked by a member of the media if he thought he could win the 2022 Masters, Tiger said simply, "I do." A simple and to-the-point answer that screams confidence and drive. Australian pro golfer Cameron Smith said that Tiger's triumphant return to the sport would be massive and that he'd love to see Tiger win Augusta and get back to regularly playing golf on the PGA Tour. Smith added, "He has had a bit of an extended rest. I'm sure he's dying to get out here. He's a competitor and he's looking to take people down. It would be good to see." Woods was hospitalized for several weeks, and believe it or not, he couldn't even walk for months. Tiger has said that he feels blessed to be alive and feels lucky that he didn't have to get his leg amputated. Tiger underwent major rehabilitation, and now he's back in Augusta to tackle a very physical, hilly course. Next up, how did Tiger make out on day one of the Masters? You're about to find out. On Thursday, April 7th, Tiger Woods teed it up at the Masters for his first competitive start in 508 days. At the end of the day, Tiger shot 1 under par. The 5-time green jacket winner returned to the Augusta National and put on a dazzling display that people are still talking about. Tiger showed his class with 3 birdies and 2 bogeys for an under par round of 71. Spectators have been pouring in by the thousands just to watch Tiger tee off. It's estimated that on Thursday morning, 10,000 plus spectators followed Tiger around the course. Tiger received thunderous applause teeing off from the first hole. On the 5th hole, a par 4, Tiger stunned spectators with a long iron shot from 218 yards. After, a birdie putt looked like it was in all the way, but the ball horseshoes out of the hole. And on the 6th hole, a par 3, Tiger almost got a hole-in-one. It was clear on day one that Tiger was definitely in the zone, with a superb up and down at the 7th. But on the 8th hole, the golf legend struggled a bit, and he walked off with a bogey. Later, Tiger headed into the amen corner at par, and his second birdie came soon after, with 2 amazing shots on the 13th, which led to an eagle attempt from 25 feet. At the 18th hole, a par 4, we saw a poor drive from Tiger, followed by a layup at the 465-yard hole. In the end, it's safe to say people were blown away by Tiger's performance. Up next, what's happening on day 2 of the Masters? Let's take a look. Sung Jae-im of South Korea set the pace on Thursday by shooting a 5 under par 67, but American Scotty Scheffler took the lead on Friday at 6 under par. All eyes were on Woods, though, and the question on everyone's mind is whether the 5-time Masters champion can win a 6th green jacket. American Justin Thomas nearly got the second hole-in-one on the number 16 hole, the same hole that Stuart Sink hit an ace on Friday. Thomas used an 8-iron on the par 3 and finished with a birdie. It was his 3rd straight birdie. Scheffler extended his lead to 6 under par after hitting 2 straight birdies on holes number 12 and number 13. Carl Schwartzel, who hails from South Africa, Sung Jae-im, Joaquin Niemann of Chile, and Shane Lowry of Ireland are tied for second place at 3 under par. Tiger missed his chance to break even on the 15th hole, but later, back on the fairway, he made one of his best swings of the day. He landed his ball on a narrower part of the green, and after a 20-yard chip, he managed to secure another birdie. Tiger generally did a good job on the par 5s and had a chance to get to even for the tournament, but on his next attempt, he ran the ball almost 20 feet past the hole. Stay tuned and don't go away, because we're bringing you the latest Masters action and coverage. Next up, what is the cut line for the Masters? Let's find out. Tiger Woods is currently tied for 20th place, and many are wondering what the cut line is at the Masters. The eyes of thousands of fans are glued to the leaderboard as the top 50 players and ties make the cut at the Masters. After day 2 of the Masters, the cut line was projected at +4. This means that Jordan Spieth, Brooks Koepka, Xander Schauffele, and Bryson DeChambeau would not make the weekend. Tiger is sitting at 1 over and is currently 3 strokes above the cut line. Very impressive considering his lengthy road to recovery. At the 2021 Masters, Dustin Johnson failed to make the cut line after winning the Masters with a 20 under par in November of 2020. But speaking of Jordan Spieth, his balls like to go swimming. On day 2, Spieth sunk 2 balls in the water on the 12th hole of a par 3, and ironically, Ironically, back in 2016, Spieth did the exact same thing on the same hole on the same course. English golfer Danny Willett is at the top of the leaderboard and in first place after a birdie on the 9th hole put him at 4 under par. Up next, which players are leading the charge for the number 1 shot? You're about to find out. Sungjae Im started the day with a lead through the front 9, and Im climbed up to 5 under par after securing a birdie on hole 3. But by the 13th hole, he was tied for second place. If you recall, back in 2020, Im was the runner-up at the Masters. Well, let's get back to Dustin Johnson for a second. After a nice start to the second round of the 2022 Masters, Johnson started playing a little sloppy and reached 4 under par through 6 holes, but then bogeyed on 2 of his next 3 holes. At hole number 9, Johnson's tee shot curved to the left, and his approach landed him in the bunker. Now, Johnson, the 2020 Masters champion, is in 7th place. Unfortunately, South African golfer Louis Oosthuizen was forced to withdraw from the Masters due to an injury. Oosthuizen's 39 years old and struggled during his opening round on Thursday, shooting 4 over par. This was Oosthuizen's 14th visit to the Masters. His highest finish was in 2012 when he lost to Bubba Watson, who went on to win the 2012 Masters. It's been a rough start on the second day of the Masters for many players, but Carl Schwartzel and Bubba Watson are moving closer to the leaders. The former champs are at 2 under par for the second round, while Dustin Johnson's at 4 under for the tournament. Jon Rahm, who's ranked number 2 in the world, is also off to an impressive start and sits at even par. Finally, how is weather at the 2022 Masters affecting play? Let's take a look. If you're watching the 2022 Masters from home on TV, don't be fooled by the clear and sunny skies. The weather's actually having an impact on the Masters. You may not notice it from home, but wind gusts on the course have fluctuated between 20 and 30 miles per hour, and that'll affect the flight and trajectory of the ball, making it tougher for players to judge distance. Players have to do extra prep work for a 180-yard shot when the wind's blowing hard. Another issue are the fairways and the greens. Both the fairways and the greens are going to dry out, which is going to make them firmer and faster. Experience is always a bonus when it comes to the Masters, but even the most experienced players can be blindsided by rough weather conditions. Dustin Johnson recently spoke about playing in such windy conditions and said, "Sometimes, especially around here, it's really hard to get a beat on if you get a lot of crosswinds. Is it helping a little bit or is it hurting a little bit?" Which makes a big difference around here because you really need to be spot on with your distances and iron shots. So it looks as though players have their work cut out for them at this year's Masters, and in addition to dealing with strong winds, they'll also have to deal with the throngs of Tiger Woods fans circling the course. And that's a wrap for today's video. Thank you for watching.